Hi, welcome to my channel, Sam Explains. The topic is CPS and our nation's child welfare system. A lot of people misunderstand things about the child welfare system. I know there was a lot of things I misunderstood until I experienced it. The greatest misconception I think that there is how a child can be removed without abuse or neglect. I always thought CPS had true, meaningful intentions for the best interest of the child. I thought the child welfare supported and assisted families. I thought they would, I, I thought that CPS would have clear and convincing evidence of abuse or neglect before they removed a child from their mother. And come to find out, that's not true. A child can get removed without having any abuse or neglect or danger or abandonment, which is how my story went. I was homeless. I was leaving a domestic violence situation, and to protect my child and do what was best, I left that abusive situation, which made me without shelter. And CPS used that against me. Now, they didn't, look at a list of domestic violence survivors. They didn't do that. They didn't, make a circle and then point and pick my name. Nothing like that. I was flagged because of false allegations. And that was my abusive ex calling the hotline with false allegations. He did so 16 times in a 6-month period. And every time they came to my door, I had nothing to hide. And luckily that worked for me the first 15 times. Each investigation was closed, allegations false, no services were needed. And then came the, well, now I need shelter situation, temporary situation I was in. They used that against me instead of helping me. And what it also did is I was flagged. Yes, every investigation was closed without services, but no matter, even when there's no proof to the allegations and the investigation is closed, no service needed, it still creates a paper trail. And that's where I got tangled up in our child welfare system. I believe my ex fully knew what he was doing. I had no clue. I had never been involved with CPS. No one in my family or no one I ever knew had ever been involved with CPS. So this was all brand new to me. I was very naive. And I don't want to say I have a lot of regrets because I don't really believe in regret. But there are several I wish I knew then what I know now. CPS removed my children and then placed them with my abuser. I couldn't believe what was happening. I was the protective parent. I did the right thing. I left my abuser. It was the scariest thing to this day that I've ever done, was leaving my abuser. My kids weren't in danger. My kids weren't being abused. My kids weren't neglected. I now know my children were unlawfully removed. And it's very common. It is very common. I always thought for a mom to have CPS remove her kid, like that's bad, I always thought that mom deserved it. I always thought and assumed that mom deserved it. That there were bruises, there was starvation, there was feces everywhere. I mean, just Very obvious, very evidence, very concrete, and for sure guaranteed like circumstances that were, proven in court. Like, I thought all those boxes were checked off for a mother to lose custody of her child to the state. But that's not accurate. There are good moms from safe homes losing custody of their children to our child welfare system every day in every county. And I'm not here to debate it. I'm not here to defend it. I'm here to just spread awareness. I've done the numbers, and CPS has affected around 10 million people. That is a lot of people. That is a lot of people to be affected by CPS in some way. It might be a foster child, it might be a parent, but that's a lot of people. And for that many people to be affected negatively with trauma by our nation's child welfare system, and still the narrative in our society is the same. It hasn't budged. If you're a mother with a CPS case, you're bad. If you're a mother without your children, you don't deserve your children. You don't deserve compassion. You don't deserve nothing. That is a very harsh narrative. And I come from a good family. I had a good childhood with both parents. I have a college degree. I never spanked my kids. I had amazing kids. I loved being a mom. I always wanted to be a mom when I grew up. My children are blessings from God. We were very close. I put so much effort and intent in raising them and teaching them every day. They had clothes, friends, school, every need that met that they, my kids and I were good. We just needed help. Me getting on my feet because I just left an abusive situation, because I just did the protective right thing. I just needed a little assistance to get on my feet, and then I was good. I had worked. Working wasn't an issue. My ex and I had 4 children ages 6 and under, so being a stay-at-home mom made sense. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom because I love my children. He wanted me to be a stay-at-home mom, I now know, to control me and isolate me, but I didn't know that when it was happening. CPS destroyed my family. And I haven't lived in shame about that. I have a healing community on TikTok. I've shared my story there for 3 years. God placed it on my heart to share my story. I didn't want to. This is not a story I'm proud of by any means. It took me 6 months, but I finally did it. I finally posted my first video. And I thought when I did that, people were going to be shocked with my story. Just shocked that a mom like me could lose her rights, and the whole nightmare with CPS. I thought parents were going to be shocked, surprised at my story. And that is not what happened. Day after day, mom after mom, comment after comment, people were reaching out to me. That happened to me. That happened to me. That happened to me. Knowing you're not alone is supposed to feel good, but not when it's your children being taken away. A mother shouldn't be separated from their child. So I'm here to spread awareness. I've been on a personal healing journey for 3 years. I've been sharing my story publicly for 3 years. That's my healing dog, Tuffy. And I'm very proud how far I've come on my healing journey, and overcame all the obstacles my ex threw at me. Having my children removed from my custody, he didn't stop there. You would think that taking my children from me was supposed to kill me. That was his intention, to hurt me. He used my children as weapons for spite. And it did almost kill me. But he didn't stop there. Every obstacle he put in front of me, I overcame. 3 years, I've been on a healing journey because I knew the moment that my rights were terminated that I had 2 paths and 2 paths only. One was forward and one was backwards, and I wasn't going backwards because I'm a mother. CPS did everything they could to bring me down, kick me when I was down, terminate my rights, get my kids adopted, disregard, destroy their birth certificate, change their names. Like CPS has done everything they can to destroy my family. But guess what? I'm still my kid's mother. And for that, everything I do is for that. I'm a mother. And I love my kids more than anything in the world. And I want them. I want them now. I wanted them then. I want to raise them. I think I am what's best for them. And I miss them and I love them. So to wrap this up, I'm doing all the right things. And I got a community of people with me. But there's still a wall. And I have realized that until society gives us the permission to heal and to not live with shame and isolation and regret and doubt and blame, until society eases up on that or gives us full compassion, we can't. Healing, there's a blockage. Healing is possible. I encourage any mom with a CPS story to know that healing is possible. Absolutely. In the description below, you can find me at my TikTok, Sam's Healing Journey. But there's resistance, and it's society. It's the narrative, and it's a false narrative, and it doesn't match the numbers with the numbers of people who've been affected. And so, from my heart to yours, I want you to hear me, because if it happened to me, it can happen to you. And I believe that once more awareness is shared, that people are good people. You're a good person, I'm sure you can imagine being a mother without your children. It's horrific. When a mother's child dies, she receives support and compassion, as she should. When a mother loses her child in court, and that mother has fought for her children, that mother has done everything she was supposed to, that mother completed her case plan, that mother is a good mother, that mother never had allegations of abuse or neglect or danger anyway, that's a high number of people in our population, and any mom without their children deserves compassion. Any mom having someone else raise their child deserves compassion. I really don't care the reason. If you're a mom and you're on a healing journey, you deserve that journey, and you deserve permission from society that you're allowed to heal, that it's okay. We give you permission. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to be a part of it. But if just that narrative could change and that acceptance could vibrate, I think it would do big things, not only for healing, but for advocacy and legislative change that's needed, things like that. Thank you for being here. In my next video, I will be sharing another misunderstood, whatever interpretation of CPS, Child Protective Services. Today's video, children being removed from their parent, and that parent had never abused or neglected them. That's a misunderstanding. I think a lot of people think if CPS removed your child that you did abuse them or you did neglect them, and that's not true. In the next video, I'm going to have more information, spread awareness, and I do think this is important. So if you stayed, thank you for being here. Please press like and subscribe. I think it's really important to get this message out and this awareness spread. It happened to me. It was a lived experience for me, and so I know. And I don't want you to have to experience it to know. But the numbers keep increasing. More and more people every single year become impacted by this system. And once you are traumatized and violated. Your family possibly destroyed forever. And then children are getting thrown into foster care, and our country has the most missing children than any other country. There's like 500,000 children are missing. Where are they? Everything I do is for my children. Everything I do is to save our children. That's why this video matters. That's why you should press the subscribe button, because children matter. If we're a country that can't protect our children, then we are a country that doesn't deserve the air we breathe. Children are everything. They're precious, and it's our job to protect them. That's why this shit matters. See you next time.